And for the courthouse renovation project, seeking a motion for approval and execution of change order number 8 to the agreement with Boyle Construction Management of Allentown, Pennsylvania for Geringer, that's Geringer Mechanical of Boyerstown, to have Beth Allen Scaffold and Equipment of Allentown erect an overhead pedestrian sidewalk protection on the Broadway side of the courthouse. This change order in the amount of $3,900 will bring the new contract total to $875,335.50.
And I'm going to second this on a little bit of discussion on this. And I think when this project started off, I did make a motion that every time we have a change order, I think they should come in here and explain it to us and to the public. And this is one of the things, and I know it's a safety issue, and to me, this should have been in the project because just like how we've done the projects actually here at the building, Tremco came in, they had an old diagram of how this was done, the safety equipment that was supposed to be in place. In fact, you can't see it on this little picture, but there was a walkway to get into this building. It was barricaded off, there was safety in mind. And on these change orders that we have all the time, they're built into this project is $385,000 in contingency. Every time we do a change order, it comes out of contingency. And this should be in these blueprints when it's done. I mean, Tremco did it. I think we have to follow through with this. And I keep going on this all the time, that every time we give money away, $3,900 would actually give 2 employees at $18 an hour, 6% raise. It would cost $1,965 for that person for the entire year, which would be $3,931.20. And we have contingency in here for $385,000. And then when we get to doing our taxes in another month from now, we're going to say, you know what? We got to raise our taxes because we want to give it to the employees. Right here is the money for the employees. And we have to continue, we continue doing this all the time. And there's always an excuse. This project here, like over this traffic thing, I think has been going on since September 5th. It's not supposed to start till the 25th, and it's always, oh, we have to get this done right away. We have to get it done right away. Before they did these plans, it should have been in these plans that was, what were they going to do? Give everybody a hard hat that walked by the building? I mean, when this building was done here, if you look at every day, we get a daily report. There was railing up. There was barriers down below to protect people. All we do on all of these projects, like this one that's coming up, we forget about the important things that are coming in. And the contingency for the general construction was $75,000. That 2 days before that they had the change order, before the bids were actually open on that Thursday, they added $15,000 on for that electrical room door. That added to the contingency. So the contingency should have actually been $75,000. Now it's $90,000. And these companies come in here like this, and it's not the ones that are getting the bids that are getting the bids. The people that are putting these building diagrams and whatever has to be done at the buildings just keep doing this to us all the time. And like I said, you watch throughout this whole project, that $380,000 of contingency will be eaten up. And again, that's what I said. We got to stop wasting our money, and we're making too many excuses that, oh, well, this got to be this, everything got to be done. And I go back to it again. Tremco did this building and had all the safety precautions in it. Now we're making excuses for the courthouse. And we know where the entrance for the courthouse goes. We know what part of the roof was being built or what was being repaired. And I go back to it again. What was this company going to do? Give everybody a hard hat as they walk by. This is standard OSHA procedure to protect the public when they come to our buildings. If you would look at this, I can send this report to the media. They give us every day, they would give us a report. The railing is up. Something was contained. They put stuff here. They put the lift. They had a secure place to put the lift. We're working on this after the project bids are open. Why is that? And I think even like on the bids, what does it look like to other contractors that come in here when they come in and they bid on a job and they want to give us a price on it, and they could be a couple $100,000 over everybody else until we get done with the project that's $400,000 more than that they would want it. So where is this fair on the bidding projects? I just don't see it. You know, I think this has to be looked in, and I tell you what, this safety precautions has to be put in. And I'm thinking like this change order is for Boyle Construction to do this. Boyle Construction should have had this in the project. And this should get done for the safety, which it is. They can't get away with that. If OSHA would come here tomorrow and they would start without this, they would shut the project down. And they know that. But they know that we can keep doing these change orders. And like I said, we have enough money here on these projects to give everybody, now we have contracts for the salaries. But everybody that doesn't have a contract in this, I think we have 100 and some employees. We could give every employee in this county $1 raise this year. And that's the bottom line. And I think everybody sees where I'm going with this. I am voting no for this because I tell you what, they got to step their game up. We hired them to do a job. I didn't hire them to do a job to do it halfway. I hired them to do a job. And we have the administrator, she's calling here, she's calling the police department or whoever she's calling. That's not her job. She has daily operations to take care of. We hired Boyle Construction to do this job. Not her, not the attorney, or none of the commissioners. That's not our job. If they don't want to handle the job and do it the right way, then you know what? Let's get somebody else. And that's all I have to say to that. I'm ready for the vote.
Hold on. So Commissioner Arner and Commissioner Nosti also, who reviewed the bid for us? Was it Carbon Engineering?
No.
No, that was Boyle.
Boyle reviewed the bid for us.
They secured the proposal for the roof repair.
All right. And they failed to notice that there was a lack of safety implementation in the bid. All right.
Did Boyle do the roof bids, or did somebody else do the roof bids that separately? Because
Boyle.
the roofing company.
Boyle did everything.
Boyle did it.
Okay.
They did have someone use a drone,
Right.
And
Yeah.
and based on the drone coverage, that's where they determined where the repairs needed to be made. But Boyle secured the proposal
From the roofing company.
from the roofing company.
And we're not talking about something when they get into something and they get at a place where there's a piece of wood rotted and you have a change order. These are things that OSHA would have shut them down. If they would have started work on that roof and had a crane on the road, that would have been the end of them. OSHA would have said, you know what, shut that equipment off and get out of here. That's what would have happened. And we just neglect that all the time, and we keep adding money and money and money on. And like I said, this thing here with this contingency, where it added on to this GC project $15,000, that was a change order before we even started the project. You know, and then I think like even like Mr. Blocker's sitting here, like he's talking about the taxes going up with that. Imagine what every time we waste $400,000 in this county on projects.
Any further comments?
No.
Okay. Mr. Honor?
No.
Mr. Lukasevich?
While I agree that Boyle has failed us in their ability to properly advise the Board of Commissioners, I think the risk is too great to allow this project to be delayed. I think there's a higher probability of another piece of roofing coming down and potentially endangering the public. So I will vote yes, we need to move forward, unfortunately.
Mr.
I agree
Notstein?
with that and the condition of the roof now. We do have tiles falling, so it does need to be corrected. We all had a chance to review the bid specs ourselves. And we're just as guilty for not catching that on the.
And you know what, Wayne, you keep making excuses like that. We hired this company to look at the bids. If I wanted to do that, I would have resigned and I would have bid on this project and I could have been the project manager. We asked them to look at a job for us. And when we hire people, we expect that responsibility out of every contractor that comes in here. None of them are exempt from it. And that's what it is. We go back, well, now we got to do it because of the safety reason. That should have been in their contract. And I don't know, maybe they don't know the OSHA rules that you have to contain. You know, like I said, maybe they're the wrong one, and I said, we keep making excuses all the time, and it sounds like it's only $3,900, but $3,900 times 10, 20, 30 times is a lot of money.
Mr. Notstein?
I'll vote yes.
All right, next for the Emergency Operations and Training Center, seeking a motion to adopt Resolution 30 of 2023 to authorize the execution and filing of an application to the Commonwealth Financing Authority for an LSA grant in the amount of $68,423.16 to be used for thermal imaging cameras, propane training, and propane-related equipment at the Carbon County Emergency Operations and Training Center in the Borough of Nesquehoning.
Move to adopt the next.
I'll second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes, and this is similar to the grant we applied for before. We were denied, we got that letter about a week and a half ago. We were denied the application previously, and I'm now filing for an LSA grant, and trying another avenue. One thing I want to point out on that as well, that Bulldog Fire Apparatus in Nesquehoning donated about $3,000 worth of what we call burn cribs for the burn tower, and the County Fire Association is buying 2 additional ones. So we're looking at different ways how we can honor those people for giving this type of donation. So they stepped up to the plate, made a $3,000 donation. It was a prototype. They worked out great for what we needed. We need 2 more for the other 2 burn rooms. So it's because of companies like that. And the other thing here, it is for training props for propane, natural gas, emergencies, et cetera, the regulators and controllers and that. And I'm also working with the Carbon County Community Career and Technical Institute on, they are building, or looking at building a training prop for us. We had borrowed one from Bucks County, and we took all kinds of pictures, measurements, and working with them, and they're gonna attempt to build that for us. Fortunately, the welding instructor, they lost, and I don't know if they found somebody else, but they're gonna try to build us. They thought it was a great project and help save the county money, and at the same time, the students get some education on fabrication of different things, so. Okay. Further business?
Any further business? No?
Do we need to do the motion to adopt the resolution?
Oh, I did not pull the board.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Yes.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes, okay, I thought we did, sorry.
Further business? No? Commissioners' reports, Mr. Honor?
None at this time.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Nothing?
Mr. Notstein?
Yes, I just want to point out, we did meet with Senator Fetterman's office yesterday. Talked about a variety of systems. Cody Kolak, I don't know how you pronounce it, if that's close, but don't want to butcher his name. But we talked about a lot of things and what some of the issues we have here, such as transportation, the bridges in particular. We have a county bridge that's on a state road and that, and why are we paying for a bridge on the state highway, et cetera. Unfunded mandates was a big thing, and I tried to express to them every time the state or federal government passes a law, it costs us money because it's not funded by them. We wind up paying the bills. And we all saw it in particular with the children and youth because of the Sandusky case, over 30 new pieces of legislation, which put a huge burden on our children and youth. And the one time when they could handle 30 cases, they're down to 19, and they're struggling to keep that. So, communications interoperability between the emergency services going across county lines, dead spots in the county, interstate mutual aid calls, et cetera. So we had a good discussion on that. And we did talk about unemployment or employment in particular, and the frustration. I'd say I was very vocal on this. Is able-bodied people, you know, they get more money to sit at home and collect, especially during COVID, the people here in the county and other places where the employees, dedicated people, were earning less than those sitting at home collecting because of COVID. And we had a great number of county employees that, you know, unfortunately for them, they stuck with us and they got paid less to work than the other people. And we talked a little bit about the quality of the people that are applying. And a lot of times people apply for positions because they have to apply for so many jobs or else they don't get their unemployment. And the positions that they're being applied for, the qualifications are nowhere near what we really need. Employment, I'm not sure what the number is right now of vacancies we have in the county. It was 35 at one time. We're now down 3 IT people out of 6. It puts a burden on the additional 3 people IT that we have. So hire somebody and they turn it down before they even spend one day in a job. What other position was it? Children and youth, just hire somebody there. They resigned before they even started. So, and it's not only Carbon County. Many counties are plagued with the same problems with getting good, qualified, dedicated personnel. So, I don't know if there were any other major discussions that we had, but we tried to convey some of the things that are happening here, budget processes as well. The grants we did talk about, and that some of the grants that you do apply for, there are just so many stipulations or so many rules and regulations sometimes that there's matching funds or the what you have to follow through and do to get that grant. It's just not cost effective anymore. So, so we meet with them. Hopefully they take it back to the state senator, and I think every county has to really step up to the plate and express what they're doing. And the same thing we're doing for 911. I know the County Fire Association made a motion the other night to send a letter along the lines of our resolution for the 911 funding because of the lack of communication capabilities in certain areas of the county. So they're sending letters, and those letters were, the resolution was mailed to our state reps, state senator, PEMA, as well as the County Commissioners Association. So police chiefs are looking at doing one as well because it's their lives on the line out there when we don't have good communications. So that's another major topic. So, okay, meeting adjourned. Mr. Blocker, unless you're interested in the retirement, thank you for staying.
No, hey, gentlemen, I appreciate everything you do, and Rocky, with change orders, I'll tell you, they are a disaster in everything, and they can really eat up a job. They can really, I can't understand, if I can speak a second yet, how Boyle is your project manager, and then they're doing a job that you didn't have somebody else doing. Do you know who the person is? Because I know people at Boyle. Who's the project manager on this job?
I don't know who's really gonna, because I think they were gonna have that kid do it at one time.
There's
I don't know
several
if the other-
involved. Not-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a
Several
call. But, and what's actually the issue? A safety of what?
Pedestrians on the sidewalk, because
They have
if
to
they're
put
working on the roof, they
Yeah.
have to put scaffolding up and
Right.
protection
Right,
planks or
right.
whatever, plywood.
That should, I agree.
It should have been in the original bid.
Right.
Should have been,
Documents, yeah.
yes.
But also, maybe it should have been in the specs, clarified in the specs. And,
But change orders are
Oh, yeah.
on projects.
Yeah.
I know.
Sometimes you can't avoid it when you open up a wall and find something that shouldn't be there.
Right. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Let me know if you find something out, Dennis.
I will. I'm gonna
I've been
make-
trying for 3 years.
Huh?
I've been trying for 3 years.
Okay, I'll do it.
News media, you gonna stick around? Should be a short meeting, I believe. Okay. I'll now call the meeting of the Carbon County Retirement Board to order. I'll turn it over to our Secretary Controller, Mark Severcek.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First, I'll seek a motion for the approval of the minutes of the previous meeting held on August 17th of 2023.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Zelinka?
Yes.
Mr. Svercek, yes. Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Thank you. Are there any guests concerning retirement board business? Report of executive sessions, none were held. Next, I'll seek a motion to ratify the warrant, which includes check numbers 40967 to 40983 and direct deposit number 7023187 to 7023597 for the month of August.
Motion ratify.
Second.
Mr. Zelinka?
Yes.
Mr. Svercek, yes. Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Thank you. Next is the retirement activity report for the month of August. We had 8 retirement refunds, 2 superannuation retirements, 1 voluntary retirements. Those 3 folks, total service to the county was about 24 years. We thank them for their service. 1 death benefit, and the monthly benefits totaled $482,673.24. Death benefits of $14,793.37. Refunds totaling $37,357.86. Total disbursements $534,824.47, leaving the county pension portfolio value as of August 31st, 2023 of $84,272,756.78. I always give the update for the prior Friday. As of September 15th, we were at $83,676,299. Any questions on that? Correspondence, I didn't receive any. Solicitors report,
No report.
investment managers or other reports, and none were received. Any new business? Any old business? Any further business? That's it, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Okay, Amy.
Good morning, gentlemen. Going back to the LERTA thing, is that the Leighton Ford project, correct? That you're supposed to be talking about? Okay. With regards to bridge number 4, what repairs are needed for that bridge?
The decking, the sidewalls, et cetera. It's a pretty expensive, project there. And that's on Quake 8, just outside of, going from Hudsondale over towards, 309.
Okay. And then why are you doing the weight limit after? The weight limit
Because of
after?
the, construction, or the, structural soundness of the bridge, it's being reduced until repairs are made.
The barriers also that we're putting on are very heavy, right? They're gonna be weighted, therefore that's part of the weight load, so that has to be taken into consideration. Yeah.
Now let's go back to Boyle Construction. I was looking at, they have at least, you guys have hired them for at least 4 to 5 projects that in my memory that I remember. Why didn't you guys hold them to the fire before all this? Like, why is it coming to a head now?
I don't know. It's like I've been trying for a while and you just keep going and it keeps going. And like today it started again. Now over $3,900. If you say no, is it gonna hold them up and they're gonna stop the whole project? I mean, and that's how it is. Like, why is it like that? I haven't gotten any answers so far. Like, why did they come in and have something? And I said, I just keep hearing from other contractors, that want to bid on this stuff. And it looks like they could do the job for maybe $100,000 more than what is bid. And they're not bidding on some of this stuff because they think that maybe there are going to be change orders. And then when the change orders are made, it makes it out like they're doing it. And there's legitimate effect on this project here. I mean, the person that was working on this, he says he never has change orders. Like, why is it built into this? And I still don't get it. It's like, well, they're gonna give money back to us. Well, if we never gave you money, how are you gonna give it back to us? But I said, built into this is $385,000 already for change orders. They already know that they're gonna get that, and if you look at all our projects on all the change orders, it comes very close to that contingency, what they have in there. And like I said, on a project like this, if you have it and you have to contain the public, that's an OSHA rule. That's not a Rocky rule, it's not a county rule, it's an OSHA rule that should be in them specs. And like Wayne said, I shouldn't look at it, we hired them to do that job. When Tremco did it, they did all the precautions. They called the police department. If they had to close PennDOT Road down or if they had to close the Jim Thorpe Road, they were in all charge of that. Why don't they do that? And that I've been asking for a long time. Why? You know, and now here we could sit and not pass that for $3,900, and they sit here and are gonna keep making, and it goes on percentage. The more that the price goes up, the bigger percentage that everybody gets. And I, like I said, it's just that design and what's in them specs. And I'm not the person that's supposed to be looking at it. They're the ones that are making the specs and they're approving the specs. And I think Mr. Blocker had a very good, you know, is that the right way to do it? Have somebody that's doing the design and then looking at the bids as everything's right. I don't know. I mean, to me, that's a conflict of interest also. But it just keeps happening around here. I don't know why. And like I said, we keep wasting money and we're looking for this budget. And I know what's gonna happen with this budget. It's gonna come up and everybody's gonna say, well, we have to increase taxes for the salaries. No, we're increasing taxes to cover this $400,000, first of all. And you can look at it that it's in capital projects or anything, but the county is loaning more money than we should to do these projects to cover this. We're investing more in the buildings than we are in our people. You know, and I said, I mean, I think everybody's seen me arguing about this for like 3 years, and I think it's time to stop it. You know, and will it stop now? You know, sometimes I look at these contracts, I looked at their contract, 197-page contract for them, that it more or less looks like it's protecting the other side and not protecting the county. You know, how do you get out of something like this that is an OSHA rule that should be in the bid packet and it's not? How do they get away with that? I don't know. I mean, should that go back to, is this legitimate bidding that we're doing in the county? I don't know. Because there's something wrong here when you put a bid out and there should be something in that. And everybody in Pennsylvania, no matter what town you work in, you have to follow OSHA rules if there's a public involved in it. And now all of a sudden this came up $3,900 to protect the public going into a building. And this project has been, I've been asking to get this roof fixed probably for 2 years, and now it got thrown into the Boyle project.
Amy, let me just reemphasize what Commissioner Notstein said, right? Ultimately, the three folks right here are responsible. We can delegate authority, we can't delegate responsibility. Contingencies that were built into the contracts that we awarded to Boyle, that's all on us. Oh, they gave us a number, we thought that number was fair, we voted on it, we moved forward. So ultimately, we kept Boyle on because they were meeting our requirements. Doesn't mean we haven't had differences with them. We've had some knockdown, drag-out fights with Boyle to try to keep them online, we felt. But ultimately, I'll tell you what, I've been shocked how good their estimates have been. They said it's gonna come in at X number of dollars. Ultimately, it comes in at X number of dollars and not beyond that. So again, ultimately, they were meeting our expectations that we set.
Yeah, what you gotta understand too is that building was built in 1893. Now, the things that are being repaired are plumbing, the electrical upgrades. How many computers and everything else, air conditioning, did you have in 1893 when the place was built? So it's things of that nature that, you know, really, you can't let them go forever. You have to bite the bullet sometimes, and you have to do building maintenance, keep it upgraded and specs. You know, should we have an electrical load, overload and fire? Don't forget, one of the courthouses already burned down in this county. I don't want to see the second one. Okay, this morning, where was the fire call? St. Luke's Hospital, in the generator room and the ceiling. How old is that building? Sometimes you have to step up to the plate and spend the money to upgrade your plumbing, your systems, your plumbing, you, look what happened here. It's not even that old, you get a water leak and that, it creates problems. So, yeah, sometimes you have to bite the bullet and do certain repairs. Yeah, there are things, other things we thought we should have done, but took out because of the cost. Stair treads, look at the stair treads in the courthouse and how worn they are since they were put in, so, but, trying to keep the budget down, the expenditures down, for now, it's been eliminated, and some other things as well have been taken out, just trying to keep the cost down. We have doors that are in the basement in particular that are rusting off, ready to fall off the hinges almost. So, yeah, we do have to, and we have to do a better job of, maintaining our buildings on an annual basis, not wait until it gets too bad.
And contingency is for unseen projects, okay, let's get that straight out here. Because even what they were talking about, that door, now we have something for the electrical room downstairs, or up in the building. That's probably maybe close to 8 foot tall. It would not fit in the building. This was designed for the building, and that $15,000 that I said was added on was to open the doorway up to get that in. That should have been in the print, not afterwards. You know, and that's what I said. Contingency is for unseen events that happen, not things that should be in the project. Like I said, OSHA approved things. Like who even has a project out there, and then they walk around with a guy that has the scaffolding and he says, well, you know, you should contain this area, you should contain this area. The guy that's setting it up knows it, but it was never in the plans to have that done. And that's what I said, when we have project managers that we're giving hundreds of thousands of dollars away, they should know that. And I'm tired of covering. That's what it comes down to.
Commissioner Lucas Evans, you just talked about them meeting your expectations, and their estimates are pretty close.
Pretty close.
But then you're looking at all these change orders, are you taking those into consideration too?
But the change orders were within the contingencies for the
So-
most part,
okay.
right? You know what I mean? They weren't above and beyond what the bid price was. If the approved bid was $4.3 million, you know, they're making it within 4.3. Now, unfortunately, as Rocky said, they always seem to be eating up all the contingency. But again, you know, I assume at times that's gonna happen. You're not gonna catch everything. And that's why you build that in there, and that's part of your costs.
But something like this, especially today's action, when you're talking about a pedestrian sidewalk, you know, the scaffolding that you need, they forgot this item, they obviously forgot
Yeah.
this item. Why is it coming back to you guys having to pay for something that they forgot to put in there?
I think we can challenge them
Probably
on that.
something in that 187-page contract.
Yeah, I think, again, and Bob's gonna have to look at that, but again, I'm not willing to risk to wait another week, wait another 2 or 3 months to work through this for $3,900 for a potential tile falling on a person. You look up at that roof, you know there's some issues up there, and we can't forego that work now over $3,900. We can fight that fight another day when it comes to, are they liable because they failed to provide good advice, counsel, or due diligence in their job?
Need to keep this project moving as well right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
You know, they're running out of good weather to be
Yeah.
up there on a
Yeah.
roof, especially a slate roof
Yeah.
when it gets colder and more brittle, et cetera, so.
Remember, the concern is you don't fix that roof and you have the potential of leaks. You have potential leaks, and anything you're doing now is gonna be taken backwards, right? So again, you gotta get this done in order for the rest of the schedule to stay on track.
And just one last thing, clarification, that $875,000 you're paying Boyle, that is just for this project, correct? Or was that still like kind of a
No,
tally for
that is,
everything?
no, I think it's just this
Just
project.
this project, okay. And then, a few weeks ago, you guys had